Listen to the Vibes, hosted by Coyote Night. Listen in for some positivity and good times. The views and opinions of our guests may not necessarily reflect those of the host or the Vibes broadcast network. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Listen to the Vibes. This is one of those episodes where I like to take time to let everybody get to know the people on our network and just to, let them sit back and talk a little bit about themselves, because they're always talking to other people and getting to know them. So let's get to know our people a little bit. We have Mr. Mike Cardenas, who's with Midnight Paranormal Society. He's just joined our group, and welcome, Mike.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, so where did little Mike grow up?
So I grew up here in San Antonio, Texas, on the northwest side of town.
Okay. So I'm sure you're real familiar with the Alamo then.
Oh, of course.
And so tell us about your childhood. What was it like growing up in San Antonio?
Well, I grew up with a single mom. I'm the eldest of 7 siblings. So it was kind of rough, man. I mean, we didn't grow up too good, but I mean, it was good because we had each other. And that's one thing I love is family. So the moment we woke up, that was a good day. So, and knowing that I had my siblings with me was always great.
Oh, now, what in the world got you involved into the paranormal world?
Well, so what got me into the paranormal world was when I was a child. At the time, it was just my mom and I. They were having a birthday party at our apartment, and so somebody came in with a Ouija board, introduced it to us, of course, without, it wasn't our choice, or by choice. And when they brought it in, my mom, as she was cooking, she stopped to take a quick break, saw they were playing the Ouija board. Typical Mexican mom was like, cussing them out, every, name under the sun. Get out of here, I don't want that in my house. They leave. The moment they leave, it was like if a door stayed open, and we stayed dealing with the repercussions of the Ouija board. It was an everyday experience, never the same thing, and so we didn't understand why we were experiencing it. We went to the church, we went to family, we went pretty much everywhere we can go to, and we got shot down by everybody.
Oh, no.
And so finally got to the point where we looked for help, and our final, cry out for help was these Jehovah Witnesses came over one morning. They came in, had an experience, and after that point, that was like the validation that we weren't crazy, that we really were having a paranormal experience.
It wasn't my in-laws, was it? We'll just leave it at that. No, but seriously, man, what do you like to do outside the paranormal?
Oh man, so one thing that not a lot of people know about me, I'm actually undefeated in air hockey since high school, man.
Uh-oh.
And so I love air hockey. I love watching sports. Like one of my favorite things to watch is the UFC. So I love watching cage fighting. And when I'm not doing that, I'm a gamer, so I play Xbox. When I'm not doing that, I love to listen to music. So a little bit of everything.
Now, see, my grandson tries to get me to play those games, and the last time I really played a video game,
Yeah.
it was a joystick and a button. Okay? I don't know how y'all keep up with all those buttons and stuff. That's crazy.
It's repetitive, man. So.
And so now you've come into the podcasting world. So
Yes.
Tell me what's that journey been like for you getting here?
Well, in the short time that I've been a part of this family and this network and just the podcast world, I mean, it's been an amazing feeling. Again, for those who don't know me, I do paranormal investigating, and I've been doing this since 2008. And so now that I'm doing podcast, it feels almost like a second wind. I love doing what I do, but now that I'm going kind of this direction for the moment, it feels just like a new life, like a new chapter. And so in a short amount of time I've been here, just so many blessings have been coming. and it all started with my buddy Eddie Hill here in San Antonio, suggesting for me to buy a mic. Bought the mic, and the door opened, and the rest came in. So it's been amazing.
So you're looking forward to that one real big interview.
Well, actually, you know what? For me, with this platform, I feel like I want to be able to share this platform, and whether this person again is from TV source, whether it's somebody who's local, I want to use this platform to just share it with those who be the voice for the voiceless. That's what I want to use this platform for, pretty much.
Yeah, when you get into this, I mean, it's great having people that people see you on television, and oh, they're on Ghost Hunters or whatever. That's
Yeah,
great, but I think sometimes this, that we get to that point where we kind of forget there's people out there that are they're not on television, they're not
definitely,
famous, and they still have something to say.
definitely.
So yeah, this is the perfect platform for them. And plus, as an investigator myself, I've learned that when you listen to other people, sometimes you pick up on things that you didn't think of before, and you learn new
Mm-hmm.
tactics and things like that.
Definitely.
And to me, this has been a big family.
Oh yeah,
You know,
definitely. And with this family, I mean, the just having that the variety of shows on this network is just amazing. It's not just one genre, all paranormal. It's just a variety of different things. So that's target different audiences, which is great.
and like my Listen to the Vibes program we're on right now. Um, this has been this has been something in the works for a while because when I'd go out and I'd meet people, I'd meet actors or musicians or people that just have they have a really interesting story to tell. And I'm like,
Definitely.
I can't just throw that into my paranormal show. It just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
But I couldn't let those people go, and I was like, you know what? Why be stuck on one subject when I've got another platform I could go to? and
Definitely.
and so I mean, and not taking away from our old network, I love them. They were good to us, but I didn't want to be stuck in just the paranormal.
Yeah.
But you're a lot busier person than I am as far as the paranormal stuff goes.
Yeah.
So I understand that's your focus, but tell us about Mike. Just tell us about Mike.
Well, see, Mike, like I said, I am a father. I have 5 kids myself. I have 4 girls, 1 boy, and again, I am the eldest of 7 siblings. And I'm a I'm a very social person, so I think this works out with the podcast because I love talking. One thing about myself when I was growing up, my mom, she's still alive, but she'd always tell me, and like I told you and others, she always tell me, "Man, Mike, when you talk, people are gonna stop and listen to you." And for me, it's like as much as I try to believe it, I'm like, no, 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 you're crazy. And then I noticed that a lot of people kept telling me, "Man, you're a good talker," and I would take it in the wrong way, like, "Oh, we trying to say I talk too much?" And I would laugh it off. And they're like, "No." And then my cleanser Kayla was like, "You have the gift of gab." And I'm like, "What the hell? Why are you telling me this?" And she's like, "Well, no, because for all of us who are not that great, it's like that's your strength. You can keep the conversation going, and you never get tired. And so and with that gift, it's like again being that voice. And so anything I could do to kind of help when it's not related to paranormal, whether it's paranormal or whether it's not, anything I could do with my voice to just help people, that's what I'm about.
Oh, now see, you're gonna make me cry. Well, Mike and I we met a couple years ago,
Yeah.
and kind of struck up a friendship. I'm in Austin, he's in San Antonio. We're only maybe not even a couple hours away,
Yeah.
and so I don't really get to see him in person a lot, but we do get to talk back and forth, usually messages, and or we call each other on the phone, whatnot.
Yep.
Had you on our show before,
Oh man, many times. Yeah.
and I'm gonna tell you what, this guy is so awesome. I have called him at the last minute and said, "Hey, my guest has just canceled on me, and I've got a
Yeah.
live show coming up in 5 minutes. I don't know what to do. He says, "Let me get on my computer," and
Oh yeah, man.
he's there for me.
Yes, sir.
And then when
That's what friends are for, man.
oh yeah, of course. And when you came to me and said, "Hey, I want to start doing a podcast," first thing that popped in my mind, we need this guy on our show
Oh yeah.
because you are like our family.
Oh yeah, man. Definitely. Likewise. And like I said, ever since I met you, man, I've always looked up to you, man. I see what you're doing, and to me, it's like you strive to want to be like people you meet, and not that you want to be better than them, but you want to be in that same level. And so when it comes to podcasts, my go-to is you, man. So it's like I want to be up there like that too.
And the weird thing is I've always had a problem with stuttering since I was a kid,
Yeah.
and I picked the weirdest thing to get into is talking on
Right.
radio.
Yeah.
But it's helped. It's helped.
Oh yeah.
I don't stutter as bad as I used to, but
Yeah. No, definitely.
But say we are a family.
Yes, sir.
We're trying to build something really great here, and it's taking off very well. In fact, quicker than I expected.
Oh yeah.
And now that we have the Midnight Paranormal Society family jumping in here,
Oh yeah.
it's gonna get even bigger.
Oh man, the team is like so excited when I told them about this, and they start seeing the guests, and I'm like, listen, this is only the beginning. I'm a big believer in prayer, and I'm always praying. And just like I said, things don't happen in my book at least, by coincidence. Again, it all took an action to get a reaction, which was get the mic, and then now the podcast. And it's like, there's a local person here in town, not to get off subject. She has a show called Planet Cat, and she's in San Antonio, and she's all about, I mean, she goes live every single day, brings awareness about the local community, the COVID-19, just everything you could think of locally with the community. She does it, and I'm like, you know what, my thing is paranormal, so I know my main focus is going to be that. But we have other shows that can utilize a voice like hers. Where just how connected she is with the community. The mayor reached out to her and told her how great of a job she's doing giving local information. So I'm like, you know what, if you have a voice, don't be afraid to use it. And with this family, if you got it, man, come, because you don't know how much of a difference to you may be something small, but to others it may be monumental, and they're looking for something like this. And I know they can find it here with this family.
Whenever I got my first 10 listeners, some people are like, "Oh man, 10 listeners! I got 100,000."
Yeah.
You know what? Those 10 listeners, they mean the world to me.
Oh man, definitely.
Even if that's the only listeners I ever have, I
Yep.
still have the attention of at least 10 people out there.
Oh man, and that's exactly how I feel with what I call my viewers the midnight watchers. And so I try to make it more personable for them. And so whenever they're watching, I'm like, thank you for watching, my midnight watchers, and they love it. And whenever they're watching, I know each and every person. So whether it's 5 people, 10 people, 100 people, I know each one of them, because those are my people who I can, no matter what the subject's about, whether it's investigating, just sitting at home, they always stop and they watch. And so to me, they could be watching anything else, but they're stopping the time and focusing on why I'm live. And so that's one thing I love, is once you get that core set of people who follow you, man, rain or shine, they're there for you. So love it.
Exactly. So just tell us anything in the world you want to tell us at this point.
Well, one thing I do want to say is that I'm excited to see where the road leads with this podcast. Who knows how long this is gonna last, and I'm praying for a long, long time. And even after, even when this thing, let's say we were to expire before this thing stops, I'm hoping that the next generation of individuals can take it over and make it even bigger than we even thought we could make it. And like I said, as long as you got that voice, no matter what the subject is, with this podcast, man, I feel like it's going to be monumental. There's people out there who've established themselves and they've accomplished whatever, but for us, we're at the very bottom, and just walking up that mountain, man. You're gonna fall, we're gonna trip, we're gonna whatever, but we're gonna make it, man. And even when we get up there, you always stay humble and remember where you came from. You know what I mean? Where you began, because
That's right.
once you lose sight of that man, it's like you're done. But I'm so happy to be on board with not just with you, man, but the other amazing individuals on this podcast. I'm psyched, man.
Well, we got Psychic Gen B, who's in California. And then we got Ben Stevenson with Central Utah Paranormal, of
Yeah.
course, in Utah. And then, of course, we got a amazing Mike Cardenas out of
Oh
San
yeah.
Antonio. You got humble little me, Mr. Coyote Knight himself out of Austin. And start heading out east, and we've got Chris Hopkins in Tennessee, who I cannot wait until he moves to Texas.
Yeah.
It's like reuniting with a brother that I've
Oh
never got
yeah.
to meet before.
Yeah.
And then we got Steph Pixie out in New York. And
Okay.
so, um,
That's nice.
God, I hope I didn't leave anybody out. I'm gonna kick myself if I do. And we've got another show that's going to be coming soon. It's called Cauldron Chaos, and
Oh, nice.
Mira is going to be on that one.
Okay.
And I can't wait till everybody gets to meet her.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But see, I'm talking about everybody else. This is supposed to be your time to shine,
Hey,
man.
hey, here's the thing though. When I was growing up, right? My mom, there were times we were so hungry, we would share. Like, she would buy one burger, and we split it 8 ways. So it's seven of us plus one her. And so even at that point, she'd be like, you know what? I don't want my piece. Y'all just eat it. Y'all the kids, y'all need it. So with this platform, I think about those moments. It's like, even if this thing is a small little burger, as long as all of us got that one taste, that's all that matters. Because as long as we all share that moment, and with this platform, man, it's enough for all of us. So I love it.
Mhm. Well, I didn't want to make this about me, but I will say that I don't feel like I'm successful until all of y'all are successful.
Yeah,
So even if my little show, only gets 5 or 10 listeners, and y'all end up with hundreds, thousands of listeners,
yeah.
I've accomplished something.
Oh yeah,
You know,
definitely. Hey,
and I've been doing this for God 2.5 years now, something like that, and it's been an incredible journey. I've had my ups and downs. I've had
yeah,
good shows. I've had bad shows. It's
yeah.
gonna happen,
Oh
but
yeah, definitely.
but we still have people out there that believe in us, and that's what
Oh yeah.
counts.
And one of my biggest questions I ask a lot of people, and not too long ago on Facebook, I started tagging these random people, um, and I wanted to kind of see a response they gave me, and some gave me some, they gave me, it was like a 50-50 thing of good and whatever. But one of my questions I always ask people everywhere I go, and I welcome all responses, positive, negative. But one of my biggest questions that I always ask people is, what do you want to be remembered by? And so for me, it's like, whether it's my paranormal, whether it's a podcast, for me, it's all about, how was I able to affect not just let's say not my family, or how did I affect people? What did I do to make a difference in their life? You can't please
Exactly.
everybody, but for those who may be going through something, and knowing that, let's say, the show or my investigations or whatever it is was able to make, for me, again, it's a small difference, but for them it's like moving an ocean. And for me, it's like, I want to be remembered, and if they don't remember me, oh well, but if they do, to know that I just took the time to make that small difference for them, but for them it was just monumental. I don't want to be known for being famous, or what, being rich or anything. I just want to know that I just made a small difference that was just monumental for others, and they get to take that and do it for somebody else, after we're long gone. So I think that would be amazing. What about you?
You know what? Number one, you stole my freaking question. But my purpose in life has always been I've wanted to make people laugh.
Yeah,
You know, I I had my good points and my bad points growing up. I had some things happen to me when I was a child that I don't like to talk about, but
yeah,
um, through no matter what I was going through, I still felt good when I could make somebody laugh or I could make
oh
somebody
yeah,
smile.
definitely.
and I have to make at least one person smile every day.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And so I want to be that guy that they say, you know what, he might have been a goofball, but he made us smile. He
Oh
made us
yeah,
happy.
yeah,
So,
definitely.
and of
Those are the
course,
moments they remember you. They'll remember you forever, man.
oh yeah, and of course my good looks too. Okay, I'm kidding.
You
But
know, last night I was up late, man, till about 4 in the morning watching all the videos, man, that you have, the ones that
no,
you've shared.
oh no
I
kidding.
was just sitting there watching all of them, man, and I was just looking at them, man, and it's amazing, bro.
Oh, good bro. I say I have my good shows, I have my bad shows, but I have fun. That's the main
Oh
thing.
yeah, yeah,
So,
definitely.
and somebody out there's having fun too.
Mm-hmm.
They're enjoying it.
Definitely,
Sometimes you get somebody on the show and it's like the highlight of their life is somebody's giving them attention.
definitely.
They don't see that they've made a difference by being part of the paranormal world or
Yeah,
or something along that line, and yet we try our best to make them feel as special as they make other people feel.
oh yeah. You know what? I have a question for you, man.
Okay.
So whether it's a paranormal or the podcast, if you can go back to the moment when you first decided to get either into the paranormal field or the podcast field, the version you are now, what would you go back and tell that part of you at that time?
Ooh. You know what? I would go back and I would make sure that I told my older self, or should I say my younger self, to not ever give up
Yeah,
and to keep believing, and no matter how bad things get, keep
yeah,
moving forward. Because, when I first decided to get into the paranormal, I didn't actually get into the paranormal.
yeah,
And I wanted to, I wanted to, I wanted to. And I was in a situation in my life where things went they went south pretty quick.
yeah.
And in fact, I shouldn't even be here right now, but by the grace of God, here I am.
Amen.
And I didn't know at the time, but the things that I was going through was preparing me for where I am now. And my first wife left me. We got a divorce, and I met Michelle,
Yeah,
and we've been together 5 years. Been married about 4 years now, and my life's journey prepared me to be a better husband to her
yeah,
and to keep my mind, my ears open, and to learn as much as I could in both paranormal and podcasting. And
yeah.
I'm making mistakes,
Oh yeah.
but I'm taking the steps, and I would
Oh
remind
yeah,
myself,
definitely.
keep making those steps.
Yeah, definitely, man. And like for me, like I tell my team all the time, if I could go back to 2008, man, when I first had the idea, or not the idea, but when I first took the initiative to create MPS, at those times, like anybody else, you don't know what's gonna happen, where it's gonna go, if it's gonna last a day, years. I mean, you don't know. And I will go. I told my team, I was like, I will go back, and like you said, tell myself don't give up because there's so many obstacles that are about to come, like a storm. This when the storm comes, like like a hurricane, or when it's real bad. But then after that, there's sunshine afterwards. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
there's not rain forever. And I remember there was times where I prayed, and I stopped praying, but I was like, God, I don't want to be alone. I know I can do this by myself, but I don't want to do it by myself. I want to have a family. Just like my immediate family, how we're big. I want to have a team that's my extended family. That they're gonna grind with me. They're gonna eat, sleep, and cry and bleed this team. And so, I went through a time in my life where I was walking this road by myself, and I didn't know where I was gonna go. And there were times where I cried. There was times where I felt alone. There were times where I wanted to give up. And something told me, don't give up. No matter what happens, don't give up. And I can go back and talk to myself at that time, and I would tell myself, you know what, if you give up, that would be the biggest mistake of your life. Just
Exactly.
got to keep going, because at the very end of that road, or not the very end of the road, but you're going to reach a point where it's not going to be that forever, because now I have a team who, they're my everything. I mean, I love them to death. I would do anything for my team, and they would do the same for me. And the things that we've accomplished together, it's monumental. It's mind-boggling. But that's how you know how much God loves you, man. Because of, again, it's hard to compare the love of God to the opportunities you get. But it's like, when these things happen, you're like, all you can think of is, "Man, thank you, God. I don't deserve this sometimes, but thank you for looking out for me." And so I would tell myself, you know what, don't give up, because at the end, man, you're gonna find something so amazing, it's gonna blow your mind. And that's what I would tell myself.
It's just like when you take a raw metal and you put it through the fire,
Oh yeah,
and when it comes out the other end, you have something that's very strong.
oh yeah,
And you know, you know that I used to preach back a long time ago, and one of the things that I always preached to people was God's going to put you through trials and tribulations.
yeah.
But you know what? He's doing it to make you a stronger and a better person.
Oh yeah, I
So
agree with that.
yeah, we're gonna go through our ups and downs in this life. But if you don't have those downs, you won't appreciate it when you're up.
Oh man, yeah, definitely, definitely. And life isn't as sweet as it is unless you go through that time of like that bitterness, or that, just that times of down, man. Because like, again, without pain, um you can never truly appreciate happiness or love. Without heartache or heartbreak or pain, it's like you need to go through it to truly appreciate what you have when you have it. And I feel like if you went your whole life without any pain or heartache, you will never truly understand, never, truly appreciate what you have. It'll just be like, whatever. But I know I've been through it, you've been through it, man. And the good thing is that we have good people on this team, which is this podcast, this network. And you did a good thing by creating this, brother.
Well, thank you. This
Yeah,
this and it's not about me. I mean, I joke around a lot, and hey, look at me. But it's all in fun. But yeah, it's for me in a way. But this was for the people around me as well,
definitely.
because I when I see somebody, I usually am a pretty good judge of character,
Yeah.
and excluding my first marriage, but but no, whenever I met y'all, each one individually, I could I could tell that there was something special there,
Yeah.
and otherwise I probably wouldn't even tried. And I mean, if you've gotten on our YouTube and you look at Ben, Ben
Yeah.
seems like such a quiet guy, but his numbers surpass all of us.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
may not be about the numbers, but that's impressive to me.
Oh
He's
yeah.
he's done something very special, and you know,
Definitely.
this is it's a competition, but it's not a competition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The competition is that we need to try to make each other better.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's nothing wrong with that at all, because it's the moment where it's one person trying to beat the race and everyone just leaving behind the dust. I mean, it's not about that. It's about no one gets left behind. Let's
Exactly.
let's motivate each other. Let's push each other. Tough love sometimes, but just want to do better. Because to me, it's like if one person's doing the best and everyone's kind of like, and you don't stop to be like, well, you know what? How much better would it be for all of us to enjoy this instead of just one person? You know what I mean? And so when we say,
Mhm.
hey, you know what? Listen, man, you can do it, man. I believe in you, man. You got it. Let's go, and just cheer for them, and just motivate them. That's the biggest thing. You need to have people around you who are willing to motivate you and push you. We already have plenty of people in the world who put you down. You need people who, when your head's down, they're gonna pick your head up and say, "Nah, don't stop looking forward. Let's go." And we can do that together.
Oh yeah. Solomon is you don't think I'm going to tell you word for word because I cannot remember
No, no, you
those
good.
verses. But Book of Proverbs and things like that. You go back and you read those, and a successful person is a person that puts the needs of others first
Oh
and to
yeah.
try to help them. Because if I had an apple seed, and this goes from me talking to my friend Brad, but if I had an apple seed, if I did nothing with it, it's nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
But if I put that in the ground and I cultivate it, I take care of it, the next
Yes.
thing you know, it grows into an orchard,
Oh yeah.
and then you have multiple apples.
Yep.
That's the same thing with people. When you have that, when you go out and you help someone, and then they go on to help other people, that's part of what you've sown in your life.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You might even never see it, but
Yep.
that's part of what you do.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree.
So, dude, this is your time. You shine. I love it that you turn around, you asking me questions. Now you got me thinking.
Oh yeah, that's how we gotta do it, man. See, the thing is, here's the thing, okay? So we're gonna have moments where we get guests where who knows if we're gonna get them again, okay?
Hmm.
And so the way you said right now, you leave things with them that you may not ever see again, right? So what do we want them to remember us by when they leave this show? What do we want them to take with them that we may never ever get again? What do we want to leave with them that when they take somewhere else, they're gonna remember the words that we spoke and leave it with those people, and then those people are gonna leave with other people. So it would be like a reaction or a chain reaction. So just a small thing we leave with them, like when I asked you, what do you want to be remembered by, or what would you go back and tell yourself, when you first started, what would you tell yourself at that point? You want to be able to leave with them something they're gonna really scratch their head and think about, and that way when they leave the show, if you may never see them again, because you're not guaranteed tomorrow, but if you never see them again, what do you want them to take with them that they never have to give you back, and then they share that with somebody else? You know what I mean? So
But when you're talking to someone, the main thing is to treat them like the human being that they are,
oh yeah.
and you let them know, hey, I'm thinking about you. I'm not
Yep.
thinking about ratings. I'm not thinking about the
Exactly.
controversy. I want to make this a special experience for you.
Oh yeah,
You know,
definitely. I agree.
and not bragging on myself, but kind of bragging on myself. I've actually had guys come back and say, "Hey, you know what? When I've done my interview with you, you treated me like I wanted to be treated,
Oh yeah.
and and this was a different kind of experience for me because how many times you get somebody that you're listening to their interview or something, and it's just constantly this one subject they're just hounding on,
Yeah.
hounding on, and they're like, you know what? There's more to me than just this.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
have a whole nother life, you know.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever met Dustin Pari?
No, not yet. No.
Okay, well, I've tried getting him on the show, believe me, but I want him to be on this show. And the
Yeah.
reason why is because, yes, we all know that Dustin is, he was in Ghost Hunters and,
Yeah.
he's a paranormal investigator and all that. But how many people know how he really works with people who are depressed or
Yeah.
suicidal?
I've seen some videos where he does that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he puts it out there. Yes, people do know that follow him. But what about the rest of them out there?
Exactly.
They don't know that this is really who he is.
Yeah.
He's not the paranormal. He is
Yeah.
all about helping people.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know what though? Just to put it out there, a lot of my future guests are coming. You know, surprisingly, whenever I mention to people like, "Hey, guess who I'm gonna have on my show?" Who's that? I don't know who that is. And I'm like, for real? And I'm already like all excited, like all pumped, and they're like, who's that? And I try to explain, and they're like, am I supposed to know? And I'm like, wait a second, like where am I at? But the thing is like, I know they like with Dustin Perry, people know a lot about him. But with these individuals, it's like, you want people to know them not just for paranormal, but for just a lot of other things, and that's our job to get it out so people can know. It's us doing our due diligence.
Yeah, the people you got coming on your show, there's a lot to them, and they've got
Oh
great
yeah.
stories to tell.
Oh yeah.
So,
Definitely, man. And I'm ready, man. I'm excited, man. Like you don't. I'm just like like explosions in my head.
yeah, the worst part of it is when you finish the actual interview, and
Yeah.
you've been on that high, and all of a sudden that adrenaline starts to drop off, and you're like, I'm just so tired. I'm so wore out. I
Yeah.
was so pumped all day, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it happens. It happens. But all you got to do is call me, and then you'll feel all pumped up again.
Right. Yeah. No. But I'm excited, man. Here in the next few days, I'm excited, man.
So
I'm like,
can you tell us a little bit about what you got coming up?
oh yeah, man. So just to name a few people who are gonna come on my show. First we're gonna have Brandon Alvis, who you've already interviewed. Great
Yes.
guy. Did a lot of research and watched a lot of videos that you've done, and just everywhere else. And we're gonna have Darren Marston, which is, I'm happy for those two individuals or all of them. And then we're gonna have Brian Murray. I'm excited, man, for all these individuals to come. And that's what I'll say for now. But like I said, the individuals are gonna come. Be ready to just the show's gonna rock, man. And we're gonna ask. We're not gonna ask those default questions or questions that you see on a paper and you're like, let me just no, we're gonna ask out of the box questions. Nothing bad or anything, but I want to just when they leave the show, I want them to think about that moment, and when they go home, they're still gonna be scratching their head like, or they're at home, but they're gonna be scratching their head like, damn, Mike, what did you do to me? So I'm gonna do that. So I'm excited.
Well, and another thing is they realize that you're listening to what they're saying.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
and everybody has their own style. Everybody has their
Yeah,
own way of doing things. My deal is I didn't like having those generic questions in front of me
yeah.
because then you're just thinking about asking the next question and you're missing something.
Exactly. You're not active listening. You're just like going by the book, like next, 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 and you don't want to do that.
Exactly.
Enjoy that moment.
So you have anything to leave us with today?
Well, as far as this COVID-19, which I'm praying to God that, man, this stuff either gets better or goes away, because I am ready to get back into investigating. And real quick, for those who don't know me, in my investigations last year, we investigated every single weekend of the year, anywhere from 1 to 3 investigations each weekend. It was like, one thing I always say is you got to find balance with home, with work, with whatever you do. Well, me, I just kind of went overboard, and but that's just I'm all because I'm always wanting to help somebody, and so from January to December, just investigation. I mean, we were burned out when they finally said, "Hey, COVID-19, gotta stay home." I was having withdrawals. I felt like I was losing my mind because all I do is investigate. And it finally I try to see positive in things, and even those things horrible, but it finally gave me time to just catch up with my family, get rest, the much needed rest, man. I had dark bags under my eyes. I felt like I was dying. But once this lifts and we get to go, I don't want to go back to normal life, but after we adjust and go back to some kind of normalcy, I'm gonna be back to investigating. But I am gonna have to find the balance because I'm gonna be investigating plus the podcast, and I'm excited. But I can't wait to get back out there and be able to help some more people out.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm like you. I'm a real go-getter,
Yeah,
and once I get going on that track, I don't want to ever get off. But
yeah,
I did learn that you not only will lose yourself, but you lose that closeness and that you have with your family.
oh yeah, man, it's horrible.
Yeah, you have to say, you know what, I'm going to put this time aside for
Yeah,
my family, and that's for them, because you got to make them feel just as special as you're making other
exactly,
people feel. So,
exactly.
anytime you need that break, man, you take that break.
Oh yeah, Yeah, definitely. It'll take a toll on you, and that goes for any field you're in, no matter what you're doing. You got to find that balance because you don't want to just devote to one thing and then everybody else like, hey man, what about me? And then without even knowing, everyone just dropping out of your life, and you don't want that. That's the worst thing you can do. So even though you want to make a difference, sometimes you got to start at home before you can go anywhere else.
Oh yeah, even
Yeah.
the Bible says that.
Yeah,
Everything starts at your house first.
definitely, man.
So, Mike, time has flown by, dude.
Oh yeah, it was too quick.
That happens when you're having a good conversation.
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
But
Definitely.
man, you keep up the good work. I'm so happy. I feel so blessed to have you part of this family,
Likewise, bro. Thank you.
and we're here for each other,
Yes, sir.
and we're here for all of y'all too. If we can help you in any way, message us. If I can't help you, maybe Mike can help you. If Mike can't help you, maybe we got somebody else that can help you. And please keep supporting us. You make us all feel really special.
Oh yeah.
So, thank y'all for joining. Catch you on the next show.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Listen to the Vibes. You can catch us on Buzzsprout or wherever you listen to your favourite podcasts, and on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook at The Vibes Broadcast Network and on Instagram at The Vibes Broadcast.